Thanks, Lee.
Malcolm Turnbull's sudden departure from politics has left the traditionally safe Liberal seat of Wentworth up for grabs, with a by-election likely in early October. A by-election into Parliament with a one-seat majority is always guaranteed to whiten the knuckles, but this one has even more twists. Strong opinions about the axing of Malcolm Turnbull, who has a massive personal following in the seat, the former PM's son pushing for the Labor candidate, and a high-profile independent. As Jeff Thompson reports, the question is whether the eventual result will be a reliable predictor of the Morrison government's fate.
There's very big views to be had from Australia's second smallest federal electorate. But even in Watson's Bay, at the northernmost tip of Wentworth, not everyone is Mr or Mrs Harbourside Mansion.
Is it all wealthy people, or is it not?
God, no.
Brian and Sandy Monkhouse have lived here all their lives.
A lot of people have grown up here, so consequently they have to live here. Our families are all here, but it's obviously very affluent. A lot of people want to be on the beach, on the most beautiful houses on the waterfront, but no, by no means is everybody.
Well, you're not looking at two very wealthy people here, I can tell you.
The sudden departure from politics of Wentworth's most famous wealthy person has crashed into contention, the safest of Liberal seats. One poll even suggesting the major parties are now neck and neck.
It will be very tight. The recent disturbances have not helped. A lot of people in this electorate loved Malcolm and will be unhappy that he's gone.
Until last week, Turnbull backer John O'Sullivan ran Wentworth's federal electoral conference, which organises the Liberal pre-selection.
The combination of, Labor and some independent campaigns plus the loss of Malcolm will undoubtedly make this a little more interesting by-election this time than the last general election.
ABC election analyst Anthony Green agrees that the Liberal Party can expect some waves of discontent.
The significance is it's just so soon after the leadership coup. It's the first electoral test for what the public think of what happened. And in the case of Wentworth, because it's a former Prime Minister's seat, it's going to be much more personally addressed to what they did to Malcolm Turnbull.
The Wentworth electorate is not all about Harbourside Mansions. Sure, it covers some of Australia's wealthier suburbs, but also stretches across areas of great diversity, not just of people, but of incomes.
The 380 bus to the city snakes right through this electorate's heart. Wentworth is home to almost 150,000 people who earn about double Australia's median income. About half of the electorate either owns or is paying off their own home, but 44% are renters. There's lots of lawyers and bankers, but almost as many cafe and restaurant workers too. A lot of them live in and around Bondi Beach, where the campaign for Labor's candidate Tim Murray has got off to an early start at the local markets.
G'day Tim, how you going?
Yeah, excellent, thanks. You couldn't find a more blue ribbon seat than Wentworth. It's never been won by Labor since Federation.
Tim Murray knows he's up against it, but has a surprising supporter in Malcolm Turnbull's son Alex, who's publicly advocated support for Labor.
I'd prefer he hadn't said that, but that's a matter for Alex.
It's unlikely that I will win this seat. A 17.7% margin is perhaps the largest margin in the country. We're realistic about what we're doing here, but people are angry. They're angry about the way Malcolm Turnbull was knifed by the Liberal Party.
Look, I don't know about local politics, but I'm really worried about the big picture. I am really concerned that national politics are beholden to call interests and that politicians are ignoring science and everything that we've been told by scientists about climate change.
Right this minute, I'm feeling glorious.
The biggest threat to Liberal dominance here is likely to come from independents, like Karen Phelps, who is still considering her run.
She'd need to have the organisation on the ground to do the campaigning, because just the name is not enough. espresso.
Small Business Party candidate Angela Vathulkas is running too.
Clearly voters are angry. They may not have been fed up with the initial representation, but they are certainly fed up moving forward, and they don't want to risk. They certainly don't want to risk another faction coming forward or another mainstream political party who clearly doesn't care about their local interests and only cares about serving a master in Canberra.
But in Wentworth's wealthy commercial hubs, like Double Bay, it's hard to find anyone ready enough to abandon the party that abandoned Malcolm Turnbull.
I think it'll be still a clear Liberal win in this electorate, definitely.
There will be a big swing against the government. Malcolm Turnbull clearly had a significant personal vote. His vote was 10 to 15, nearly 20% higher than the state Liberal vote in the last couple of elections.
Nominations for Liberal pre-selection in Wentworth close tonight, with 6 contenders, including former member Peter King, former ambassador to Israel Dave Sharma, and same-sex marriage campaigner Andrew Bragg.
Obviously, Malcolm had a great personal appeal in the electorate, and we will miss that. It's going to be a tough campaign, and we'll have to work hard to win it. So we're being very cautious about it.
That's the program for tonight. Thanks for your company.